Hello everyone, I welcome you back to my channel. Today we are dealing with the second chapter of class 12 mathematics, that's inverse trigonometric functions. Here we have this chapter for the first time in class 12. We learnt with trigonometric functions in our starting from our class 10 and major portion of that chapter in class 11. Now this is nothing but the inverse of a given values in the trigonometry that we learnt in a 10th or class 11. Now starting with the two important table which I have given here, you need to remember all these stuffs for to have a good grip or to for a better understanding your inverse trigonometric chapter. Now first I will go with this particular thing. Here I have written a trigonometric functions, all 6 functions with a different standard angles, and I have written the values, and you also know these values from your previous classes, but you need to remember still till 360 degree, and please take down this one for your reference. Just brush off the things you forgotten, or just remember, try to glance over the previous year dealt table. You know the sine value and sine the values. If you learn sine theta values, then you know the trick, that is a cosecant is a inverse of that, and see, if you know cos theta, the secant is inverse of that, and tan theta, cot is the inverse of tan theta. If you know these three things majorly, you can deal with the problems. Now coming to this first table here, this table is nothing but inverse trigonometric functions and their range. Here we have all 6 inverse trigonometries corresponding to this, and we have their domain. The domain is the region where they act. Sine inverse is from -1 to closed interval. You know closed interval, it includes from -1 to 1, and the range is also a closed interval of -pi/2 to pi/2. If you are preparing for a board exam, or else if you are preparing for a competitive exam such as CET, JEE, you need to remember these range things. You need to be specific with all these 6 range things, and there will be a lot of questions based on this. You need to be very strong in this topic. Now please remember all those things. For sine, it's a closed interval of please notice that there is a closed interval here, and there is also a open interval here. This open interval, let me make that, yeah, this is a open interval here. This is open interval and this is closed interval. You should never forget that. That will lead to a losing of mass. Now going with sine inverse has domain of -1 to 1 with closed interval both the sides, and here the range is -pi/2 to pi/2 with a closed interval. Moving on, cos inverse, the domain remains same and the range is of 0 to pi, that's 0 degree to 90 degree with closed interval. And cosecant inverse of x has real number minus open interval of -1 comma 1. You should remember this is open interval, and it includes closed interval from -pi/2 to pi/2 excluding 0. This is the only term excluded, so we have written with it with the flower bracket. Now secant inverse x, that includes whole real numbers except -1 comma 1, which is of open interval. You should remember these two, these are same. And here that's from 0 to pi minus the term pi/2. The value pi/2 is excluded in the range of a secant inverse, and the tan inverse includes whole real number. Cot inverse x also includes whole real number in their domain region, and in the range they have open interval from -pi/2 to pi/2, and cot inverse has open interval from 0 to pi. I hope you are thorough with this. You can have a better knowledge in the further concepts of inverse trigonometry if you are fixed with this. You go on by hearting this, and please take a note. in some your notes or in your reference book, so that it will be easy. Let's move on to some problems on finding principal values. Now this is the possible questions I have taken from the textbook and some good guides. These are some of the given good questions from finding the principal values. This will definitely help your board exams if you are thorough with all these 16 problems, and if possible you can go more through various guides, but still you need to be thorough with these 16 problems so that you will never lose a marks from this. This will be a particular in Karnataka state board, this will be one question from this question, from this main will be a fixed question. Yeah, moving on to the first question. First question is sine inverse of 1 by root 2. You know, we have the thing here, sine 1 by root 2 is correspondingly it is for pi by 4 from the given values. Now we know that we can directly write it as pi by 4. If you want to solve, you can solve. I will show one solving method. Sine inverse of y, sorry, let us take again. Sine inverse of given question, that's 1 by root 2 is equal to y. Okay, now you should take sine on the other side. That's 1 by root 2 gives you sine y. Now this gives you sine y. Then what's the value of y? Y is going to be pi by 4. This simple. This is only just because you need to solve the given question. If you need to go directly, then you can directly write with a pi by 4. Let's go directly with this question. Cos inverse of root 3 by 2 is our second question. Cos inverse of root 3 by 2 is nothing but in this given question, cos inverse of root 3 by 2 is pi by 6. You can directly write the answer as pi by 6. You know, there is nothing much. You can directly check here. Cos inverse of root 3 by 2 is pi by 6. Okay, now now cot inverse of minus 1 by root 3. Cot inverse of minus 1 by root 3, let's check here. Cot inverse of minus 1 by root 3. We have cot inverse of 1 by root 3 that corresponds to pi by 3, that's 60 degree. Now cot inverse of minus 1 by root 3, you need to have one good knowledge that will be covered in the second video, because in your textbook it's not given in order, it's given in a second exercise of this particular lesson. If you have good knowledge on trigonometry, you can solve that. That's nothing but, you know, cot inverse of any negative is something like that, pi minus cot inverse of the given value. That's pi minus cot inverse of 1 by root 3. This is the thing. Now, you know, pi minus cot inverse of root 3, that's something like pi minus cot inverse of root 3, pi by 3, that's 60 degree. This is in radian form, pi by 3. This is going to be 2 pi by 3. This is the answer. Simple one. This is the answer. Now sine inverse of minus 1 by 2. For sine, this, see, pi minus cot inverse is applies only for cot and for secant and for cos. Now moving on with the fourth one, sine inverse of minus x, that's minus 1 by 2, is minus sine inverse of 1 by 2. Now take your table. In exam you need to remember that sine inverse of 1 by 2 corresponds to pi by 6. The answer is something minus pi by 6. This is going to be your answer. Simple one, we can directly solve if you remember all this table. This is going to be very helpful going to be very helpful. Please remember that. That's all you need to have for this. Cosecant inverse of 2 is the fourth question. You know, cosecant we need to have pi minus, sorry, this is cosecant, not cot, sorry, yeah. For cosecant we need to check the table, right, directly. Cosecant inverse of 2 corresponds to pi by 6. That's all. You can directly write as pi by 6. Yeah, this is simple. Now moving on with the sixth question. Here, tan inverse of root 3. You know, there is no negative sign from table. It's all from table. Tan inverse of root 3, pi by 3. That's it. Tan inverse of root 3 is pi by 3. Now, seventh is cos inverse of minus 1 by 2. For cos, you know, 1 by 2 is in pi by 3, corresponds to pi by 3. And there is a negative sign here, minus. You know, I told you that cos, cot and secant should be, if it is in negative, it should be minus subtracted with the pi value. Cos inverse of positive 1 by 2. Remember here, positive 1 by 2. And we saw 1 by 2 is with pi by 3 and minus pi by 3. This is something 2 pi by 3. Now tan inverse of minus 1. Tan inverse of a negative number is minus of tan inverse of a number. That's minus of tan inverse of 1 is pi by 4. Same, tan inverse of 1 is pi by 4. Everything is from a table. You should remember the table. That's the only prerequisite. See, if you are planning for a board, never miss this opportunity. This is will be given for a max 1 mark question or a 2 mark question, and it's quite easy only if you rely on this table. Now cot inverse of minus 1 by root 3. For cot we have 1 by root 3 corresponding to pi by 3. Now pi minus pi by 3, something similar to 2 pi by 3. Your answer. Now secant inverse of 2 by root 3. Secant inverse of 2 by root 3. 30 degree, pi by 6, that is. And there is no negative sign. The answer is directly pi by 6. You know how this is helpful for us. We solved 10 questions within no time. Approximately 10 questions. Now cot inverse of root 3. Same here, cot inverse of root 3 corresponds to pi by 6. That's 30 degree. Yeah, that's 30 degree. Root 3 is for pi by 6, 30 degree. Cos inverse of minus 1 by root 2. You know, pi minus, you should, for solving cos inverse with a negative number, pi minus cos inverse of positive of the given number. In the next step, pi minus cos inverse of 1 by root 2. 1 by root 2 corresponding, the angle is pi by 4. Pi by 4. This is going to be 4 pi minus pi by 4, that is 3 pi by 4. Now cosecant inverse of minus root 2. Cosecant root 2 corresponds to pi by 4, and this is going to be minus cosecant inverse of root 2. This is going to be minus pi by 4. Simple one. Tan inverse of minus 1 by root 3 minus tan inverse of 1 by root 3, and for 1 by tan inverse of 1 by root 3 corresponds to pi by 6 minus pi by 6. Simple one. Cot inverse of minus 1 for negative number For cot we need to have pi minus cot inverse of 1, pi minus cot inverse of 1 corresponds to pi by 4. This this gives you 3 pi by 4. The last one, secant inverse of minus 2. For secant also we need to subtract the given value with the positive of the same number with the pi. Pi minus secant inverse of 2, we have secant inverse of 2 here with pi by 3, 60 degree, pi minus pi by 3 going to be 2 pi by 3. Yeah, that's all guys. We have completed our finding the principal value. That's our first exercise. This is so simple if only you remember this table, and this will be helpful very much for scoring board exams and probably CET and even in JEE questions. And we solved almost 16 problems here. This covers almost all the problems given in your exercise, and also if there is any extra questions, and the miscellaneous will be covered in the further exercises. Thank you. If you appreciate our work, as usual, please subscribe our channel and do more share to your friends so that we can share the knowledge to all and will have a good understanding of the given mathematics. Thank you.